EA Sports. And we've got some history in this battle of AFL alumni. It's the Denver Broncos and the New York Jets. And it's coming up next.
On a warm late summer afternoon, EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And as we look at this matchup, every time there's something different to focus on. So I'll just ask you, what do you see here in this one?
Well, Rembrandt, you've given me a pretty blank canvas to focus on, haven't you?
Yeah.
Where do you think I'm going to go with this?
Oh, secondary?
You know me well, right? In a game like this, it's always about the secondary. Can they handle the passing attack and make a few plays?
Here's Will Lutz ready to get this one started. And off we go from MetLife Stadium. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
There have been very few quarterbacks in the NFL who have been as consistent throughout their career as Aaron Rodgers. He's been good for so long, and we've seen no decline in his skills. His accuracy and arm strength continue to elevate the talent around him, and his in-game mistakes, few and far between.
First play and a first throw for Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
First carry for the Iowa State man, Breece Hall. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they've got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Here's Rodgers. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Jets first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. Well, on third down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
Pass thrown to Adams. He's got it on the crossing route. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Throwing is Rodgers. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go that sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless.
And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Breece Hall. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Jets will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. And that caps off what was really a balanced opening drive for them, Charles. They work in the rushing game and the aerial attack, and they end it with a touchdown.
Strong in so many ways, wasn't it, partner? Their ability to throw it and run it and accomplish their goal. They've got to like the way that they started this ball game.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. He's got it, and the Jets lead 7-0. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it was capped off by a Breece Hall touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their rookie QB, the young man out of Oregon.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
A first carry now. This is Williams. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Throwing Nix. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And Sutton will have a Broncos first down as he'll get this up past the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 4th down coming up. Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. Taking it about the 16. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. This could end up being a pretty big drive. I mean, look, yes, it's early in this game, but they scored the touchdown. They got the stop. And now if they could get in the end zone here again, CD, they could grab an early stranglehold on this one.
Yeah, they certainly can, and that's what you're looking for. Where's the advantage? Can you gain it? Can you press it? Now for them, finishing it off, because right now it's out there for them. They've just got to go seize it.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. There for the stop defensively, Nick Bonito. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
He's got the hook up to Lazard. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he is going to have a Jets first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
A lot depended on the spot there, and he got it. But it wasn't by much, was it? I remember Coach Madden talking about, depending on which foot the official used, that would tell you whether you got the first down or not. You want that upfield foot to be the one that spots the ball, don't you?
And you and I have the luxury of a couple extra views here in the booth, and he did get it, but not by much. To about the 35, 2nd down. Now after all of this, hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. From the 35, here's a 2nd and 8. On play action, now Rodgers. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To throw, it's Rodgers. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Nick Bonito coming in there to record the sack. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
On 4th down, here's the veteran Thomas Morstead to punt for the Jets. And Marvin Mims deep for Denver. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. So now the 2nd drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And they'll run the option to start the drive. Give him 4 yards there on the 1st down keeper.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
To throw is Nix. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Two minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Over the middle, he finds Vele. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a first down.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and they'll be left with second and a couple.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Now it's Nix. A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll go play action with Nix. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Here's Nix. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A very important 3rd down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
Back to the air with Nix. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. To throw, here's Nix. That's complete to Troutman, right side. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll try and throw. Here's Nix. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there, because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open, just a split second too late on the release. The kick by Lutz is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And the Jets going to go on offense one last time in this first half. And with a 7-3 lead, we'll see how aggressive they want to be. "19 seconds showing to play in the half as they come up here 1st and 10. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And some room to work. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Now Rodgers. Oh, the slant connects with Devontae Adams. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. Zerline's kick is up and through, and that will do it for this first half. So we've hit halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the home team, the Jets, leading this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. And the Broncos offense set to begin this third quarter. This is a game, Charles, it's been fairly starved for offense. Really not much in that first half. We'll see if they can get something going here as we look toward the third quarter.
And not just a chance to finally get a little more offense going, but to erase that small deficit they currently trailed by. I think they'd send a pretty powerful message to the opposite sideline if they drive it right down the field coming out of the half.
Working out of the gun is Nix. A short one to the tight end, Troutman. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Nix to the air. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. First target, first catch, and a first down.
And it's pretty evident that this passing game has been frustrated so far. They haven't really moved the ball the way we might have expected, but this is a good pickup here for the first down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle, but give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
2nd and 9 from the 44. Operating from the gun, Nix. And this is going to be incomplete.
That's just flat out a terrific play because it's rare that you see a hitch route batted down. That means someone read that one really well and was right on the spot when the ball got to the receiver.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Nix. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. The drive starts with a run by Allen. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now 2nd and 9. Rodgers now to throw. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. Throwing to start the drive. Nix. Throw left side complete to Troutman.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Now 2nd and 3. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Here now, 3rd and a yard. They run it again with Williams. And he's got some space here. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. First carry now for Jaleel McLaughlin. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Nix. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Nix. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this third quarter of play. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. The kick by Lutz is good, and that'll bring him back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, fourth quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. Well, now how about this return? And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. And New York set to take the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, Do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw is Rodgers.
He completes that to Garrett Wilson.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Here's Allen. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
2nd down and 8.
Looking to throw. Nix. And his throw here's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Nix from the shotgun.
That is caught and past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. It's Sutton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
Here's 2nd and a yard. Throwing Nix.
Going to throw right side here, complete. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 23. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Got a man open, it's Sutton. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Nice, well coached, a team that understands what's going on. They still have time to work the middle of the field as they just did there.
They'll come up now on second down.
They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
He's back to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Broncos first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Now 2nd and 4.
They'll look to throw.
Screen play set up for Williams.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Well, this crowd trying to force a false start here. 3rd and inches.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Well, just a gigantic play here, both sides. This is 3rd and inches.
Back to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So this defense, they looked a little shaky to start the drive, but bottom line, they're a play away from finishing it off.
They rocked them a little bit on this drive, didn't they? But as you and I both know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They have a chance to end it right here.
Here it is, 4th and inches. They'll go for it. Here's Nix.
And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
Charles, that drive was perfect, methodical, executed so well, and they grabbed that lead with almost no time left for a last gasp from the other side.
No way you could have drawn up a better final drive, because not only did they keep their eyes on the end zone, but they made sure they bled the clock out as well and denied their opponent a chance to respond. That's just terrific situational football to end this one.
So that drive spans 13 plays, and it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Xavier Gipson now from his end zone. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
One final try for Rodgers. We've seen this before. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30.
That was a long shot, but they did get one final chance to try to score and overcome this small deficit. No touchdown, though, Charles, and that brings this one to a close.
Yeah, I think Hope was wearing one jersey and Worry was wearing another on the other sideline as that final snap played out. Now, we've seen some incredible plays to win games before, but in this case, I think the distance was just a little bit too great for it to happen here.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from MetLife Stadium.